happening, everyone? TLP, the Liverpool Prophet, back again with another match reaction. Liverpool 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Liverpool have beaten Wolves. We now make that 4 wins in a row, 3 Premier League wins in a row, and we are right back up there in the top 4, in 4th place, in contention for the Champions League places. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Although the performance wasn't the best, we'll take the win because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the 3 points. So, yeah, not a great performance, not a great watch, but we got the win. We got the W, so we will take it. But yeah, before we get into the match reaction, do remember, if you are new to the channel and haven't already done so, do of course drop a like on the vid. Do sub to the channel as well, it does help a lot. Currently 34 subs away from 600, so if you can sub, much appreciated. Do, of course, like I said, drop a like on the vid. Do turn notifications on as well on the channel so you know whenever content drops. And, of course, get down below in the comments and let me know your thoughts and opinions on today's win and the game as a whole. Let me know down below in the comments. So do drop a like, do sub, and, of course, do get down below in the comments. Without further ado then, without wasting more time, let's get into the game. Let's get into the talking points of the game. So, Liverpool 2, Wolves 1. Looking at the team sheet, I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. I saw Federico Chiesa on the team sheet and I thought, wow, is this real? Am I dreaming? Has Salah finally woken up? Has he finally realised what we've all been saying? Federico Chiesa started the game and Frimpong started at right back. I was over the moon. I was genuinely over the moon. Gakpo was on the bench. I'm surprised the manager didn't throw Gakpo straight back into the team with him being on the bench. I'm genuinely surprised. But no, fair play to start. Put Chiesa in the team. Put Frimpong in the team. Stuck with Gakpo on the bench. I'm happy. I'm relatively happy with that. I was sure the manager would do anything in his power not to play Federico Chiesa for this game. I was sure we would see Frimpong off the right wing. We'd see Calvin Ramsey at right back. And if Gakpo was back, we'd see him back off the left wing. I was sure. But fair play to the manager. I'll give him his flowers. He swallowed his pride and did what was best for the team. Do I think he wanted to start Chiesa? Of course I don't. Of course I don't think he wanted to start Chiesa. The guy will do anything not to play him, but let's be honest. His hands were tied. Szoboszlai, of course, was out with a suspension for this game. Mohamed Salah is, of course, still at the AFCON. There's no one there other than Federico Chiesa to play. I've got no doubt if Szoboszlai was still fit, we wouldn't have seen Federico play today. But for Federico's luck, there was no Szoboszlai or Salah, so he had the game today. And you know what? I thought he put in a relatively decent shift. Now, he didn't score, obviously, but whenever Chiesa plays, I think he, gives 100%, and at least he always plays for the badge. And that's the number one thing I look for in a player. I don't care how good you are. Do you give 100% on the pitch? Do you give 100% for the team, the fans, and the badge? And when I look at Chiesa, I see all of them qualities, so I'll always hold him in high regards. But the team was relatively good. I thought it was a relatively good team. And I was happy. I was happy with the team selection. As for the performance, we get into the game. Look, Wolves came with a very clear plan. They were going to sit back, let Liverpool have the ball, and try and pinch a 0-0 draw or something. They didn't come with the intent of playing football. They were never going to come with the intent of playing football. They're bottom of the table. They're 20th place. They're most likely going to be relegated. So it's always going to be Liverpool, the team that had the ball, were trying to create something, and Wolves just sitting in, soaking it up and trying to, praying for something. And that's how the first half went. Wolves very defensive. Liverpool all the ball, but we really struggled to break them down. Like we all know, Liverpool against the low block teams that part of the bus, we struggle to really create anything. And that's not just a slot issue. That goes back to the Klopp days as well, to be fair. But it's always been an issue for us. And the same thing happened today. We created chances, but I felt we were just a little bit unlucky. Ekatike got into some good positions. Could have scored a couple of goals too. Probably should have done better. McAllister hit the post. We were knocking on the door, but the goal just didn't feel like it was coming. It felt like it was one of those days where, whatever happens, we're going to struggle to find the net. Wolves didn't really do nothing, I'll be totally honest. They did absolutely nothing in that first half other than defend for their lives. And fair play, that's what they got to do. When you're 20th of the table, you have to take whatever you can get. So they obviously came with the intent of a 0-0 draw or trying to get a 0-0 draw. And I respect it, So it is what it is. But 5 minutes before the first half ends, we get 2 goals in quick succession. Now, Ryan Gravenberch nips in with a goal. A very good finish. And big up to Gravenberch. I've said he hasn't been great recently, but he nipped in with a goal today and put Liverpool 1-0 up in a big game, in another must-win game. So I'll always give grab his flowers there. And I thought he had a relatively decent game. So big up to Ryan. And we were 1-0 up, and I was happy, man. I was happy because I was sure we were going to go into halftime 0-0, and I was sure the second half would be more the same. But we were 1-0 up. We broke the deadlock. And then in quick succession, literally a minute later, we go up the other end and score again, making it 2-0. Florian Wirtz, at long last, got his Liverpool goal. The wait is over. The 007, the 0019, 18, whatever that cringe meme is gone because Wirtz has finally bagged for Liverpool. And he was brilliant today. I think he was absolutely immense. For me, I'd say he was the man of the match. Everywhere, all over the pitch again. Like I said, we said it a couple of weeks ago, but because he's not getting GA, people are still not giving him his flowers. Well, you know what? He got a goal today. A well-deserved goal as well. We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. And I don't want to hear all of this. It was only against Wolves, etc. Because I don't believe in that. You're good against who you're good against, you know. So give Wirtz his flowers. Please, if we can criticise him, we can also praise him. These last couple of weeks, since the West Ham game in particular, I think he's been a lot better. And he's slowly starting to prove his worth. Put us 2-0 up, and you think the game's done. Big up to Florian Wirtz. Big up to Flo, my guy, my baller. Now that the wait is over, I think it's just going to keep flowing. He's finally got his first goal. Hopefully, this is the first of much more to come. And a lot of people are going to see exactly why we brought this guy in. A lot of people are now going to start to see the brilliance of Florian Wirtz. We paid 80 mil. You're going to see why we paid 80 mil. He's an absolute gem. But yeah, he scored. And what I love the most, he kissed the badge. He kissed this right here. That's a player who cares. That's a player who feels pride wearing that Liverpool shirt. And players like that, for me, I love them to bits. So big up to Wirtz. But we go 2-0 up. We go in at half-time 2-0 up. I think it was a relatively deserved lead. Liverpool were the only team, like I said, trying to play football in the first half. Wolves did absolutely nothing. I think we went in at half-time deservedly 2-0 up. Before I get into the second half, of course, I wanted to touch on the lovely tribute that was paid before the game started to Diogo Jota. Obviously, Diogo Jota, a former Wolves player and a Liverpool player, held in high regards by both fan bases and both clubs. Wolves fans love Diogo just as much as Liverpool fans love Diogo. His lovely wife was there today. Their 3 lovely children were there today. Virgil van Dijk, of course, led the team out, and they were there, of course, with Virgil van Dijk walking alongside him, holding his hands. A very emotional day for both clubs and both teams. In the 20th minute, pure class, when Liverpool was singing the Diogo Jota song, Wolverhampton Wanderers fans clapped throughout the whole thing. Pure class and just a brilliantly done tribute. I'm sure Diogo's family were very, very proud. I'm sure his children will remember that for years to come. It's very, very upsetting because before the game, I saw images, I saw a video of Virgil van Dijk playing with Diogo Jota's children. Very, very upsetting when you know it should be Diogo still here doing that with his children, who unfortunately cannot be now for tragic circumstances. I hope God blesses his family and his kids because them children are now going to have to grow up for the rest of their lives without a father. So it's going to be tough, but Wolves were pure class, and good luck to them for the rest of the season, by the way. Whatever happens, I hope they stay up. And if they do get relegated, I hope they come straight back up. When the incident happened back in July, they were pure class in how they dealt with it and how they tributed Diogo as well. They mourned him just as much as we did. And today, again, I felt they were pure class as well. So big up to the Wolves fans and good luck to you guys for the rest of the season. Hopefully you can stay up. If you can't, I hope you guys come straight back up to the Premier League next season. So big up to you guys. And a brilliantly done tribute by both clubs and fans for Diogo Jota, who I'm sure was sat up in heaven smiling down with pride and joy. So yeah, big up, man. Big up. Tragic circumstances, but it's one of those where we will never forget the player. We will never forget who Diogo Jota was for as long as we live. So yeah, an emotional day, but I felt everyone dealt with it very, very well. Moving back to the game, of course, now. The second half, I felt, look, we've said this before with Liverpool. First half, we can be very good. Second half, we can usually fall off. And I think the second half, we fell off. And in the 52nd minute, Wolves get a corner. Terrible defending by Liverpool, and they score, and it's 2-1. In the 52nd minute, so pretty early into the second half, it's already 2-1. So Wolves have halved the deficit. And from there on out, I've got to be totally honest, I thought the second half was poor. It was very, very poor. I thought the first half was relatively good, kept the ball well, created chances, were 2-0 up deservedly. So second half came around, Wolves, of course, were going to attack it a little bit more. They were going to try to come out a little bit more. All we needed to do in that second half, in my opinion, was control the game by keeping the ball. It's what Arne Slot wants, apparently, to have a team that controls the ball better, to have a team that keeps the ball well, keeps possession well, and just controls games. Yet, for some reason, we couldn't do that against 20th place Wolves at home in the second half. Just keep the ball, rotate the ball around in the second half. All we needed to do. Instead, we start to sit in more. We get a bit too comfortable. Wolves get in there 2-1, and all of a sudden it's nervous again because you know how Liverpool have been this season. We know we've bottled it on numerous occasions. It just wasn't a good second half. Wolves, to be fair to them, while they were poor in the first half, I thought they were much better in that second half. A much better display. Came out, showed some heart, showed some fight. Unfortunately, luckily for us, they just don't have the quality, in my opinion. If this was maybe a Nottingham Forest, I don't even want to use Nottingham Forest actually because they came and scored 3. If this was a Fulham, for example, or even a Sunderland, other teams, I feel we would have joined that game because the quality them teams have is of course better than the quality Wolves have. Wolves are putting pressure on, they just don't have the quality, like I said. So we were very fortunate in the second half. Just couldn't control the game at all. Couldn't control the ball at all. Couldn't keep the ball at all. It just wasn't a good performance in the second half. Big drop off. I don't know why that happened. I genuinely don't know why that happened. Why the first half was so positive and then the second half was so flat and abject. But it just was like that for some reason. I was sure Liverpool were gonna. Well, to be fair, I always thought Liverpool were gonna win this game. I said we were gonna crumble. Now it's Wolves, 20th place Wolves at home. I always felt even if it was nervous one, even if it was nervy, we would still get the 3 points over the line. But Wolves pressured us throughout the second half. We definitely should have controlled the game better, like I said, but we didn't. They were pressuring us, but the quality just isn't there for the Wolves team. And Liverpool were able to see out the 3 points. Conor Bradley made a very crucial interception. Otherwise, the Wolves player was in, and he probably would have made it 2-2. So big up to Conor Bradley, probably saved us the win here. Alisson made a couple of decent saves as well. It's a win. We'll take it. We did see it out in the end, by the way. Of course, it was a bit of a nervy 5 minutes of stoppage time, but Liverpool saw out the win. Wolves pushed. They tried. They showed fight. But I think Liverpool remained pretty resilient, and we got the 3 points over the line. It's 3 points, and of course, I'm happy about it being 3 points. But going life and death at home against 20th place Wolverhampton Wanderers, who haven't won a game, who are pretty much getting relegated, is a worrying sign. A very worrying sign. I'm going to be totally real about it. Couldn't control the game against 20th place Wolves is a worrying sign. Very worrying, actually. So while we won the game, and it's another 3 points, and it's another game unbeaten, the warning signs are there, and we're somehow getting away with it now. Luck is somehow from going against us, now going for us, and we're getting away with it. Spurs last week away, 10 men, 9 men were better than us, pressuring us, and we got away with it. This week again, due to Wolves not having quality players, and due to them not being a great side, we got away with it again today, in my opinion. Life and death at home to Wolves, come on, lads. That should be 3 points. It should be 3 points easily, but we made hard work of it again. We should never be making hard work against Wolves at home. This should have been a 3 or 4-0 game on paper. It should have been. I said in my preview, to be fair, I don't see it being a 3 or 4-0 game. I predicted 2-0. It was 2-1. I said Liverpool would struggle. I said we'd make the game harder than it needed to be. And that's exactly what we did. Almost let Wolves equalise as well at the end. So while it's a win, and while it's happy, and while I don't want to be sat here negative, I just can't help but feel these performances are going to catch up with us again. Obviously, Leeds next coming up, we should win that at home. But Leeds are, of course, more of a quality opposition than Wolves, so that could be a problem. Fulham away will not be an easy game. They are, of course, more of a quality opposition than Wolves. And then we play Arsenal away as well soon, which I said for me could be a bit of a game where we come up unstuck and we get hold of a bit of a hiding. Because Arsenal, of course, top of the league, are much more quality side than Wolves. So we're getting away with it. Let's be honest. And we'll take the win, but the performance is still worrying. Last week's performance was worrying. The Brighton game was a bit worrying. The performances aren't there, but the results are there. So, you know what? We'll take it. Looks like Arne Slot now has kind of ditched style of play, and he's relying on results. He's relying on just getting results rather than how we play. And fair enough, man. He was under a lot of pressure, and he's kind of dealt with the pressure well. The Slot out talk has obviously died down with these last couple of wins. It's going to, of course. But for me, I'm still very much Slot out. We used to be such an exciting team to watch. Now, you look at Liverpool games, we're not very exciting to watch on the eye no more. I'll be totally honest. So it's still slot out, and he's got a lot to prove to me, but we're winning games. It's 3 points. We'll take it 100%. But it's worrying. Going life and death at home at Anfield to Wolverhampton Wanderers 20th place. Very, very worrying. Whatever though. 2-1. We'll take the win. If I'm a Wolves fan, however, I think you can be proud of that performance. I'll be totally honest. Obviously, that new manager's come in, and I think they've looked better, but the results just aren't there. You see it in years gone by with other teams. They play good football. They try. They're very full of fight, full of heart. They just can't get the results over the line. Under Wolves' last manager, they were very, very poor. The new managers come in. They got hammered against United at home, but I thought they were very good against Arsenal the other week. Very unlucky. Of course, caused their own downfall with 2 own goals. But had that not happened, they could have got something there. And today as well, I think they came to Anfield, put in a very good fight. A lot of people would have predicted them to lose 4-5-0, but no, they leave with a 2-1 loss. And that's respectable. I think Wolves will take that as respectable. And there's positives to take because Wolves showed a lot of fight. They showed a lot of heart. So they can be proud. Of course, I saw at the end their players went over to their fans. They were clapping. So their fans are proud. Their players can be proud. And it's something to build on for them. What it means for them in regards to their relegation fight, how they'll do for the rest of the season, I don't know. But I think if I'm a Wolves fan, I'd be relatively proud of that. When you're in the position you're in, to go to Anfield, press a Liverpool to an extent, leave with a 2-1 scoreline and hold your heads up high is always a positive. So, yeah, big up to Wolves. Their fans can feel proud. As for Liverpool, we take the 3 points. We move on to the next game. But, of course, the performance was alarming again. Got away with it. Same thing against Wolves last season. Exactly how we played today. We played against Wolverhampton Wanderers last season at home. Weren't good, but got the win over the line. So, we've done it twice in a row now at Anfield against Wolves. So, we'll take it. But, look, performances have to improve and we have to be a lot better at controlling games, in my opinion. We'll take it though. And we move on to Leeds in the week. So Leeds, of course, a more quality opposition than Wolves will be a lot more of a tougher game. Due against us at Ellen Road 3-3, put in a very, very good fight there. We'll see what happens there. Reverse fixture. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, another 3 points, 4 wins in a row. I believe that's now 8 unbeaten. So we'll take it. And we are improving. You know, we got a win there. Go up to 4th place, back above Manchester United, into the top 4 in 4th place. We're right in that top 4 race. If we can keep the consistency going, I still believe, and I've said we can finish 3rd, because I believe Villa will fall off, and I believe other teams that are fighting top 4 for us, Chelsea and whoever else it is, won't have the consistency. So if we can get some consistency together, I still believe we're very capable of getting 3rd place and finishing 3rd. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But that is the end of today's match reaction. Hope you guys have all enjoyed. Hope you guys can all be happy as well that we got another 3 points. I'm going to head off. I'll be back tomorrow with my match review. So we'll go into a bit more detail on the game, etc. That will drop sometime tomorrow afternoon or evening, depending on how I feel. Other than that, that is it for me. Do remember, on your way out, drop a like on the vid. Sub to the channel as well. 34 subs away from 600. So if you can sub, much appreciated. Do get down below in the comments as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game performance. Turn notifications on as well, so you know whenever content drops. Other than that, I'm going to head out, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Speak to you guys soon. TLP out. Up the Reds. Let's go. Another 3 points. Wasn't great. Wasn't pretty, but we got the result. On to the next. Bye for now. Speak to you all soon. Stay good.